ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूताले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नाना शास्त्र विचारेक निपुनो सहधर्म संस्थापकौ लोकानां हितकारिणो त्रिभुवने महन्यो शरण्याकरो राधा कृष्ण पदारविंद्र भजना नहं दीनमत्तालिकयो वंदे रूप सनातन रघुजुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको वंदे रूप सनातन रघुजुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको। Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone for today's reading and discussion from Nectar of Instruction, text number 9. Text number 9. Vaikuntha Janitovara Madhupuri Tatrapi Raso Sava Vrindaranyamudara Ramana Tatrapi Govardhana Radha Kundamihapi Gokulapate Premamrita Pralavana Guryadasya Virajato Giritate Seva Viveki Nakaha. Vaikunta Janito Varamadhupuri Tatrapi Raso Sava Vrindaranyam Udarapani Ramana Tatrapi Govardhana Radha Kundamihapi Gokulpate Premamrita Lavana Kuryadasya Virajato Giritate Seva Viveki Naka. What word meaning? Vaikuntat, then Vaikunta, the spiritual word. Janitaha, because of birth. Vara, better. Madhupuri, that translates to city of Mathura. Tatrapi, superior to that. Rasaswat, because the performance of Rasila. Vrindaranyam, the forest of Vrindavan. Udarapani, of Lord Krishna. Ramanath, because of various kinds of loving pastimes. Tatrapi, superior to that. Govardhanaha, Govardhan Hill. Radha Kundam, the place known as Radha Kund. Ihapi, superior to this. Gokula Patehe, of Krishna, the master of Gokul. Premamrita, with the nectar of divine love. Aplavanat, because of being overflooded. Kuryat, would do. Asya, of this. Radha Kund, Virajataha, situated. Giritate, at the feet of Govardhan Hill. Seva, service. Viveki, who is intelligent. Na, not. Kaha, who. Translation and preferred by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The holy place known as Mathura is spiritually superior to Vaikuntha, the transcendental world, because the Lord appeared there. Superior to Mathurapuri is the transcendental forest of Vrindavan, because of Krishna's Raslila pastimes. And superior to the forest of Vrindavan is Govardhan Hill, for it was raised by the divine hand of Sri Krishna and was a site of his various loving pastimes. And above all, the super excellent Sri Radha Kund stands supreme, for it is overflooded with the ambrosial nectarian prema of the Lord of Gokula, Sri Krishna. Where then is that intelligent person who is unwilling to serve this divine Radha Kund, which is situated at the foot of Govardhan Hill? Purport. Krishna Chandra Prabhu, let's begin with you. You got to unmute? Yes.
Yeah. The spiritual world is 3/4 of the total creation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and is the most exalted region. The spiritual world is naturally superior to the material world. However, Mathura and the adjoining areas, although appearing in the material world, are considered superior to the spiritual world because the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself appeared at Mathura. The interior forests of Vrindavan are considered superior to Mathura because of the presence of the 12 forests, Dwadasha Vana, such as Talavan, Madhuvana, and Bulavana, which are famous for the pastimes of the Lord. Thus, the interior Vrindavan forest is considered superior to Mathura, but superior to this forest is a divine Govardhan Hill, because Krishna lifted Govardhan Hill like an umbrella, raising it with his lotus-like beautiful hand to protect his associates, the denizens of Braja, from the torrential rain sent by angry Indra, king of the demigods. It is also the Govardhan Hill that Krishna tends the cows with his cowherd friends, and there also he had his rendezvous with his most beloved Sri Radha and engaged in loving pastime with her. Radha Kund at the foot of Govardhan is superior to all because it is there the love of Krishna overflows. Advanced devotees prefer to reside at Radha Kund because this place is a site of many memories of the eternal loving affairs between Krishna and Radharani, Rati Vilasana. Continue, Prabhu.
Yes, continue.
In Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, it is stated that when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first visited the area of Vraja Bhumi, he could not at first find the location of Radha Kund. This means that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was actually searching for the exact location of Radha Kunda. Finally, he found the holy spot, and there was a small pond there. He took his bath in the small pond, and told his devotees that the actual Radha Kund was situated there. Later, the pond was excavated by Lord Chaitanya's devotees, headed first by 6 Goswamis such as Rupa and Raghunath Das. Presently, there is large lake known as Radha Kund there. Srila Rupa Goswami has given much stress to Radha Kunda because of his Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire to find it. Who then would give up Radha Kund and try to reside elsewhere? No person with transcendental intelligence would do so. The importance of Radha Kund, however, cannot be realized by other Vaishnava Sampradayas, nor can person uninterested in devotional service of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understand the spiritual importance and divine nature of Radha Kund. Thus, Radha Kund is mainly worshipped by the Gaudiya Vaishnava, the followers of Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Hare Krishna. Any comments from anyone on the subject matter? Subject matter over here is in connection with text number 8, where Srila Rupa Goswami says, one should accept Vrindavan as his residence when one has become advanced in his spiritual practice. Now, while describing about it, he says, well, Lord eternally resides in Vaikuntha. But greater than that is that place where Lord appeared, Mathurapuri. In Mathurapuri, there is a place called as Vrindavan among the 12 ones, where Lord performed his best of the pastimes. And foremost of among all the pastimes is Rasalila that was performed in Vrindavan forest. Greater than that Vrindavan is Govardhan Parvat, which Lord Shri Krishna personally lifted. And one of the most intimate pastimes where for 7 days and 7 nights, Lord Shri Krishna fulfilled the heart's desires of every Vaishnava in the human body, plant's body, or in the animal body, or in the birds and the beasts. Everyone wanted, why does this night happen that Krishna has to go away? And the Brajvasi would think, why this day has to occur? The Krishna has to leave for the forest. For 7 days and 7 nights, now Krishna was then going to rise, performing his beautiful pastime of being the protector of Brajvasis. In that, Govardhan is sacred, most sacred. Greater than Govardhan is a sacred place. Govardhan, greater than Govardhan comes the place Radha Kund, Shyam Kund. Radha Kund is filled with the love of Srimati Radharani. That is called as Radha Kund, where Shri Radha and Krishna have performed many, many pastimes. Therefore, it is said it is the most sacred place in all the three creations and beyond it. So one should take shelter of Shri Radha Kund like that. So this is the subject matter. Would anyone like to say anything on the subject matter? Any reflections, realizations, or anything? All right. So Radha, yes.
Prabhuji, why one should stay at their near about end of life in Vrindavan? Is it necessary to stay there?
Oh, question is why should we stay at Vrindavan like that? Very good question. Srila Prabhupada said our ISKCON temple is Vrindavan. Srila Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu gives 64 principles for devotional life, and that the top 5 rules that should be practiced: association of devotees, reading of books, chanting holy names, and D stands for staying in Dham, and E stands for engaging in devotional service, Tulsi worship, like that. So when you stay in Dham, naturally you get association of sadhus. And Srila Prabhupada took Vrindavan, Titi Kurvanti Titani, Tita Bhuta, Swayam Vibhuhu. Yudhishthira tells to Vidurji. So wherever a great devotee travels, Lord Krishna travels with him. In other words, that place becomes Tirtha. So Srila Prabhupada traveled all over the world and created Vrindavan. So in our case, Srila Prabhupada said that ISKCON is non-different than Vrindavan. And for example, Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, to live with this instruction, showed all of us, taught all of us. He had the option to come back to Vrindavan, to depart, but he decided, chose to go to Gita Nagari in America, in Pennsylvania. And he lived his final days there to give a message that wherever Krishna is worshipped, wherever Srila Prabhupada's shelter is available, that is Vrindavan. When you go to Vrindavan, you serve under the guidance of advanced devotee. And for us, that is Srila Prabhupada. So wherever Srila Prabhupada's shelter is available, that is Vrindavan. Like that. So you don't have to live near to Vrindavan at the end of life. You live in Vrindavan as soon as possible. So when the opportunity arises. Okay. So that's the reason we are kind of taking initiatives now that there should be a temple, and around that there should be a community. Like that is a focus of the leadership now. All across ISKCON, that's an attempt has been made. And that attempt has been made over here at Hinjewadi also. Hopefully, Krishna willing, sooner or later we'll be able to fulfill that desire of the leaders of our community. All right. Anything else?
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So one thing to be noted about Radha Kund pastime, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj while speaking on this appearance of Radha Kund. It's a very profound statement, and this just stuck to my consciousness. And when you look at the life from that perspective, it is so true. Radha Kund originated on the occasion of a very violent scene. Who was the person? What's the name of that demon? Aristasur, I believe. Yes, Aristasur had come to attack Brajavasis. And the same place where his hoof print was created, where he was thumping his hoofs again and again, at the same place Radhakund and Shyamkund was dug. In other words, Aristasur has terrified every Brajavasi. It was a terrible fight. Everyone was in fear, screaming for their protection. And the Lord transformed that most violent, terrifying, painful situation for all the time to come into the most auspicious occasion. Attack of Aristasur also marks the appearance of Radhakund. His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj made a point. So, Krishna consciousness or Lord Shri Krishna can transform even the worst of the situation to the most auspicious event or situation. However, it only holds true for them who learns or who knows how to take shelter of devotees and the Lord. That's the potency and that's the power of spiritual life. Even the most disturbing situation can pave the way for the most auspicious event in one's life. So that's the speciality of this whole Radhakund pastime when Radhakund appeared. And yes, the subject matter of Krishna Prem is beyond our comprehension, at least for my comprehension. It is said that Radhakund is filled with the ambrosial nectar of the love of Godhead, particularly love of Srimati Radharani for Krishna. At least I cannot fathom that. I don't have that adhikar, but at least this much I can understand. Just like I made a point yesterday also. What is the conclusion of chapter 18 of Bhagavad Gita? The conclusion is how much ever trying or difficult the life may become, devotee never perishes. Devotee never becomes morose. Why? He always have a smile on his face because he knows he's being followed by Krishna, or he's under the shelter of Krishna and Krishna is blessing him and protecting him like that. So that's what Radhakund teaches, at least at this stage of our life. Hare Krishna. Let's go to text number 10. Karmi bhaya parito hare pritaya vyaktim yayu jnaninas tebhyo jnana vimukta bhakti parama premeka nisthas tataha tebhya sa pashupala pankaja drashas tabhyopi saradhika prishta tadvad yam tadiyasarasi tam nashrayat kakriti. Karmibhya, then all fruity workers, Varitaha, in all respects, Hari, by the Supreme Personality Godhead, Pariyatyaha, Priyatya, because of being favored, Vyaktim Yahu, it is said in the Shastra, Jnaninaha, those advanced in knowledge, Tebhyaha, superior to them, Jnana Vimukta, liberated by knowledge, Bhakti Paramaha, those engaged in devotion service, Prema Ekanishtaha, those who have attained pure love of God, Tataha, superior to them, Tebhya, better than them, Taha, they, Pashupala Pankaja Drashaha, the gopis are always dependent on Krishna, the cowherd boy. Tabhya, above all of them. Abhi, certainly. Sa, she. Radhika, Srimati Radhika. Reshtha, very dear. Tadvat, similarly. Yam, this. Tadiya Sarasi, her lake. Shri Radha Kund. Tam, Radha Kund. Na, not. Ashrayat, would take shelter of. Kaha, who? Kriti, most fortunate. All right, so somebody would like to read the translation. Ravi Prabhu, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dandavad Prabhu. Translation. In the Shastra, it is said that of all types of fruit workers, he who is advanced in knowledge of the higher values of life is favored by the Supreme Lord Hari. Out of many such people who are advanced in knowledge, jnanis, one who is practically liberated by virtue of his knowledge may take to devotional service. He is superior to others. However, one who has actually attained prema, pure law of Krishna, is superior to him. The gopis are exalted above all the advanced devotees because they are always totally dependent upon Sri Krishna, the transcendental cowherd boy. Among the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the most dear to Krishna. Her Kund lake is as profoundly dear to Lord Krishna as this most beloved of the gopis. Who then will not reside at Radha Kund and in a spiritual body surcharged with ecstatic devotional feelings, aprakrita bhava, render loving service to the divine couple Sri Sri Radha Govind who perform their Astakaliya Leela, their eternal eightfold daily pastimes. Indeed, those who execute devotional service on the banks of Radha Kund are the most fortunate people in the universe. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So the puppet. Indeed, those who execute devotional service on the banks of Radha Kund are the most fortunate people in the universe. Let's read the puppet. At the present moment, almost everyone is engaged in some kind of fruitive activity. Those who are desirous of gaining material profits by working are called karmis, or fruitive workers. All living entities within this material world have come under the spell of Maya. This is described in Vishnu Purana 6.7.61. Vishnu Shakti Para Prutta Kshetragya Akya Tata Para Avidya Karma Samajnanya Tritya Shakti Ishyate. Sages have divided the energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead into three categories, namely spiritual energy, marginal energy, and material energy. Tritya Shakti Ishyate. The material energy is considered with third class energy. Tritya Shakti. Those living beings in the jurisdiction of the material energy sometimes engage themselves like dogs and hogs, working very hard simply for sense gratification. However, in this life or after executing pious activities in the next life, some karmis become strongly attracted to performing various kinds of sacrifices mentioned in the Vedas. Thus, on the strength of their pious merit, they are elevated to heavenly planets. Actually, those who perform sacrifices strictly according to Vedic injunctions are elevated to the moon and planets above the moon, as mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 9th chapter, verse number 21. Shini Punya Mritya Lokam Vishanti. After exhausting the results of their so-called pious activities, they again return to the earth, which is called Mritya Lok, the place of death. Although such persons may be elevated by their pious activities, and although they may enjoy life there for many thousands of years, they nonetheless must return to this planet when the results of their pious activities are exhausted. This is the position of all karmis, including those who act piously and those who act impiously. Hare Krishna. My question to all of you, if somebody asks you, what is the problem of ISKCON fellows, that they do not allow us to go to Swarga? We say only Vaikuntha or Vrindavan, no Swarga. स्वर्ग हम देखते भी नहीं स्वर्ग की तरफ. बताओ क्या बोलोगे आप लोग?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Who is speaking?
Chintamani Ma.
Yes, mother.
The thing is, Swargaloka, you go and then you come down also as soon as the pious credits are over. So it is not a permanent situation to the problem. It is only Vaikuntha where once you go, no nivartate, you don't come back.
If somebody tells you then, he says, अरे ठीक है यार, ऊपर तो गए, वहाँ जीवन काल इतना लंबा होता है, हजारों साल, लाखों साल सुख भोगूंगा। मेनका माता जी के दर्शन भी मिल जाएंगे थोड़े बहुत से, उर्वशी भी दिखी जाएगी भटकती हुई, गंधर्वों के म्यूजिक सुनने को मिलेंगे, इतने महान महान देवताओं के दर्शन मिलेंगे। पता नहीं क्या इस्कॉन वाले पीछे पड़े रहते हैं, वैकुंठा वैकुंठा। इतना भी क्या बुरा है, कम से कम कुछ समय के लिए तो एंजॉय करूंगा। व्हाट इज योर प्रॉब्लम? व्हाट वुड यू से नाउ?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Nikhil here.
यस निखिल।
So, Prabhuji, in that case, I would ask them, why don't you have a solution to enjoy whatever you are enjoying? It should be permanent. I mean, keep some solution at least.
हाँ, वो बोलता है, अरे मैंने आपकी किताबों में पढ़ा है, वहां पे क्या एंजॉयमेंट, वहां पे भी जाके कृष्णा के आंगन में झाड़ू मारनी पड़ेगी।
जी प्रभुजी, लेकिन मैं उनसे
स्वर्ग जाऊंगा तो वहां मेरा पूजा होगा, मेरी प्रसन्नता के लिए गंधर्व पंखा करेंगे, गाएंगे, नृत्य करेंगे, वहां की शुद्ध आत्माएं मेरा गुणगान करके मुझे सुबह उठाएंगी, मुझे राजा होने का एक एहसास मिलेगा। वैकुंठ जाऊंगा, क्या है वो श्लोक, लक्ष्मी सहस्र संभ्रमा सेव्यमानम। देखो जरा वैकुंठ में भगवान लक्ष्मी से भी झाड़ू लगवाते हैं, हमारी तो क्या इज्जत होगी। तुम इस्कॉन वाले यार कहाँ अटक गए, क्या बोलोगे फिर?
तो उनसे प्रभुजी कह सकते हैं ना कि ये जो हम एंजॉय कर रहे हैं, क्यों ना ऐसा सॉल्यूशन निकालें कि हमेशा एंजॉय करते रहें, कभी ना कभी फिर अगर इस मेटल वर्ल्ड में आएंगे।
करेक्ट, वो तो यही बोलेगा ना, अबे तेरे को झाड़ू लगाने में आनंद आता होगा, मुझे तो पंखा हिलाने में, मिलने में झाड़ू आनंद आता है, तुम झाड़ू लगाओ तो मैं जाकर अप्सराओं का नृत्य देखूंगा। What else? What else? Permanent, temporary, all okay.
Tendency, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, when we go to the heavenly planets, there is a tendency of doing wrong activities, like we see in the case of Indra and all. So there is a fall down, and there will be suffering also because of these wrong activities. But once we going to Vaikuntha is only when we are purified. Before that, Maya Devi is not going to allow us to go out of the jail. So once we are purified, then we don't do all these that.
Okay, what if now the correct? What if the fellow says, all right, noted, valid point, I will only do good sense gratification. I will not do bad sense gratification. I will only do good sense gratification. I will make sure no aparadh committed. And anyways, वहाँ पाप करूँगा तो मतलब ही नहीं बनता. It's all different away from that. So I will not commit अपराध. I'll be very careful. मैं अपने matter में रहूँगा, अपना enjoyment करूँगा, nothing doing. Mother Priyanka, you want to say something? Your hand is up. Yes.
Prabhuji, we are the servitor of the Lord Krishna. Here we are doing the same thing, and we want to do the same there also.
तो इंद्र भी तो भगवान के सर्वेटर हैं. तो क्या प्रॉब्लम है इंद्र के संग बैठ के जाके? तो
वहां पे भगवान नहीं होंगे?
अरे क्यों नहीं होंगे? इंद्र यज्ञ करता तो भगवान अवतरित होते हैं.
भगवान की सेवा उनके धाम में करके ज्यादा अच्छा लगेगा.
वो आपको अच्छा लगेगा ना, मुझे अच्छा नहीं लग रहा. ये तो कहने वाली बात हो कि अच्छा लगेगा. अच्छा लगेगा इस हाइपोथेसिस, इस हाइपोथेसिस, फ्यूचर प्रोजेक्शन. अच्छा लगेगा, ठीक है ओके. मतलब ये क्या, व्हाट वुड यू लाइक टू से?
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I'll say that in ISKCON, we basically work on improving our desires from sense gratification to gratify the senses of the Lord. So when we are aiming for Swarga, we are actually looking for our own sense pleasure, whether good or bad. But when we are looking for Vaikuntha, we are actually looking for the pleasure of Lord.
What if the जीवात्मा says, अरे क्या भाई, कृष्ण ने अपने इंद्रिय भोग के लिए हमारा निर्माण करा, हाँ? So for his own pleasure he created us. Why you people have problem if I want to enjoy life? After all, I am his ansha. If he can do things for his enjoyment, why can't I do? And I am not saying I'm gonna go and be a supporter of Ravana or Hiranyakashipu. I am saying I'll sit right next to him today. उसके संग मैं भी नित्य देख लूंगा थोड़ा. क्या प्रॉब्लम है? तुम्हारा प्रॉब्लम क्या ये बताओ, तुम्हारे को क्यों जल रहा है? ठीक है. Who else has something to say? Yes, Desi Prabhu Jyoti.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम. प्रभु जी, I would say that स्वर्ग जाने के लिए मरना पड़ेगा, but Vaikuntha, Prabhupada has got us here only. We are enjoying right now. For us, the ISKCON temples are Vaikunthas.
Okay, so स्वर्ग जाने के लिए आपको मरना पड़ेगा and वैकुंठ जाने के लिए you'll go like Sant Tukaram ji.
Devotional service brings relief to material distress right away.
Okay, बोलेगा यार तो अच्छी ब्रेन वॉशिंग करते हैं हमारी यहाँ. Okay, good attempt. Okay, yes, somebody who has, yes, Shubhamru, बोलो.
बस तो उसकी क्लॉज पे क्लॉज को लगा एंजॉयमेंट पे है.
हाँ कैसे नहीं, वो बोलो ना.
शास्त्रों में लिखा है कि जो 6 दोस्त जब तक रहेंगे, काम को लोभ मोह मद मत्सर, आप एंजॉय करेंगे.
ओके, आप कह रहे हैं कि काम क्रोध लोभ मोह मद मत्सर रहेगा. बोले यार इंद्रदेव तो उसके संग एडजस्ट करके एंजॉय कर रहा है ना.
नहीं कर रहा, क्योंकि दे आर कांस्टेंटली इन फियर कि दूसरा उससे बेटर पोजीशन है.
They are constantly in
तो
fear.
ब्रह्मा के पास भागना पड़ता है.
That is the point. That is the point. The point is even the okay. Let me answer this. How would you define material world in one word?
कुंठा.
What is that kuntha?
Khalaya massage.
Fear. No. Fear. Material world is place of fear. That's the answer. And what is Vaikuntha? Place of fearfulness, fearlessness. That's the difference between Vaikuntha and Bhautik Jagat. So if anyone ever want to discuss and talk on this subject matter, you say, Baba, तुम भय से मुक्त नहीं हो सकते. तुम स्वर्ग भी चले गए, वहां भी भय रहेगा. इंद्र कितना भयभीत रहता है, तभी तो पृथु महाराज का यज्ञ नाश करने का प्रयत्न किया. तभी तो नर नारायण ऋषि की तपस्या कहते हैं भंग करने का प्रयत्न किया. तभी उसने विश्वरूप की हत्या करी, अश्विनी कुमार का के संग झगड़ा किया, दधीचि मुनि का गला काटा. क्या क्या नहीं करा. इसलिए भय. तो अगर आपको भय में जाना अच्छा लगता है, नो प्रॉब्लम, कंटिन्यू. और इफ यू वांट टू एक्सपीरियंस अ लाइफ व्हिच इज फ्री फ्रॉम फियर, देयर इज ओनली वन प्लेस, Vaikuntha. This is the answer, because we have experienced this of suffering, and we have, and he also know, anyone is talking about Indra Loka, he also knows what all Indra have done, so you can easily understand this thing. All right, good. So let's move forward. This is the position of all karmi, including those who act piously and those who act impiously. On this planet, we find many businessmen, politicians, and others who are simply interested in material happiness. They attempt to earn money by all means, not considering whether such means are pious or impious. Such people are called karmis or gross materialists. Among the karmis are some vikarmis, people who act without the guidance of Vedic knowledge. Those who act on the basis of Vedic knowledge perform sacrifices for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu and to receive benedictions from him. In this way, they are elevated to higher planetary systems. Such karmis are superior to the vikarmis, for they are faithful to the directions of the Vedas and certainly dear to Krishna. Bhagavad Gita 4.11, Krishna says, Ye yathamam prapadante sateva bhajamyam. In whatever way one surrenders unto me, I reward him accordingly. Krishna is so kind that he fulfills the desires of the karmis and jnanis, not to speak of the bhaktas, or what to speak of bhaktas. Although the karmis are sometimes elevated to higher planetary system, as long as they remain attached to productive activities, they must accept new material bodies after death. If one acts piously, he can attain a new body among the demigods in the higher planetary systems, or he may attain some other position in which he can enjoy a higher standard of material happiness. On the other hand, those who engage in impious activities are degraded and take birth as animals, trees, and plants. Thus, those fruitive actors who do not care for the Vedic direction, vikarmis, are not appreciated by the learned saintly persons, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 5th chapter, verse number 4, spoken by Rishabdev to his sons. Nunam pramatta kurute vikarma yad indriya priyataya panoti nasadhumanne yadatmanoyam asannapi kleshe dashadeha. Materialists. Nunam pramatta. Pramatta means pagal ho jana. Kurute vikarma. And in that pagalpan, kurute means perform. Vikarma means sinful activities. Yad indriya pritaya apnoti. Nunam pramatta. Pagalpan for what? Indriya pritaya apnoti. अपने इंद्रियों का भोग करने के लिए, भक्षण करने के लिए नूनम प्रमत्ता, person becomes mad, and in that madness he performs all kind of sinful activities. Na sadhyumannayat atmanoyam asan api klesheda ashadeha. Materialists who work hard like dogs and hogs simply for sense gratification are actually mad. They simply perform all kinds of abominable activities simply for sense gratification. Materialistic activities are not at all worthy of an intelligent man, for as a result of such activity, one gets a material body which is full of misery. Asanapi klesheda ashadeha, then you get a body full of misery. The purpose of human form of life is to get out the threefold miserable conditions of life. 5.5.5 is what Prabhupada is quoting now. What is that? It begins with Nunam Pramatta ho gaya. Huh? No, then not the verse. 5.5.1. What is that? Naham deho deha vajam naloke. Actually, that is the point. That's the shloka says hogs and dogs, not the shloka. Naham deho deha vajam naloke kashtan kaman arate with bhujante. That is dogs and hogs with bhujante. Tapo divyam putrakayena sattvam shuddhyad saukyam ta anantam. That is the point for the purpose of human life, to get out threefold miserable conditions which are concomitant with material existence. Unfortunately, foodie workers are meant to earn money and acquire temporary material comforts by all means. Therefore, they risk being degraded to lower spiritual life. Materialists foolishly make many plans to become happy in this material world. Wow, what a statement. Materialists foolishly make many plans to become happy in this material world. Any reflection on any such plans? How materialist makes plans, foolish plans to become happy in this material world? Any thoughts? Any thoughts? Any thoughts?
Elon Musk is trying to set it on.
अबे तू मार्स छोड़, धरती की बात करना पहले मार्स छोड़ो, पहले धरती की बात करो, अपने जीवन की बात करो, मार्स का उदाहरण ले रहे हो. Materialists foolishly make many plans to become happy in this material world. Bolo. Yes. Materialists make many plans. So, घर सपना एक आशियाना होना चाहिए अपना. तो उस प्रकार से प्रभु बात कर रहे हैं कि घर का सपना बना के रखते हैं. What else? Everything materialist does is only for happiness, and all their attempts are futile and wasteful. Right, beginning from your education, everything, then college life, then office life, and then married life. Now, for a devotee, married life is not said to be bad. That is grahastha ashram. Because married life is not a way for him to really become happy. He sees this as an opportunity to get purified, and he sees the married life as that I have a life partner who's going to accompany me to move forward in my devotional life. The whole altogether different understanding. So everything which is done is foolish. They do not stop to consider that they will live only for a certain number of years, out of which they must spend a major portion acquiring money for sense gratification. So some say Alexander the Great, according to this statement, Alexander the Greatest fool. This is the purport. Alexander the Greatest fool. These are the two lines which declare him to be the greatest fool. He died at the young age of 32 years. At the age of 16, he embarked on a journey to win the world. For 16 years, he traveled whichever places from Europe to Asia. He traveled. He kept on winning the places in which he attacked, and he kept on losing the places which he left behind. Interesting. That was his endeavor to become the ruler of the world. At the end of the day, he was stabbed by his own man, like that comes, and because of which infection, after a few months, he died. And people say Alexander the Great. This is like saying Karmana Evadi Karaste. They don't make the full statement. Ma Phaleshu Karachan. And the first statement is Alexander the Greatest fool. That is how spiritualist sees. Ultimately, such activities end in death. He died miserably. You take example of Mussolini, Hitler, or whoever European colonist mindset rulers who went out to try to rule whatnot. Mentalists do not consider that after giving up the body, they may become embodied as lower animals, plants, or trees. Thus, all their activities simply defeat the purpose of life. Not only are they born ignorant, but they act on the platform of ignorance, thinking they're getting material benefit in the shape of skyscraper buildings, big cars, honorable positions, and so on. कितने लोग खुश आते हैं ना, प्रभु जी मैं अमेरिका जा रहा हूँ, अबे नर्क जा रहे, खुश हो रहे हैं, मुस्कुरा रहे हैं, बदमाश, क्या पढ़ा तू भगवद गीता में? से प्रभु जी बहुत अच्छी खबर है, क्या अच्छी खबर है? मैं नर्क जा रहा हूँ। नर्क जाने में तो प्रचार करने के लिए जा रहे हैं, नर्क करके। So हमें conditioning doesn't go away, है ना? बड़ी गाड़ी मिल गई प्रभु जी, बड़ी गाड़ी मिल गई। अबे बड़ी गाड़ी मतलब बड़ा EMI, बड़ा EMI, बड़ा मेंटेनेंस, फिर गधे की तरह रगड़ो करके। The materialists do not know that in the next life they'll be degradative and that all their activities simply serve as parabhava, their defeat. This is the word of Srimad Bhagavatam. Parabhavastavad abhud jataha. Hare Krishna. So we'll continue reading next time when we meet. We may meet tomorrow, may not meet, because tomorrow is the Bhagavatam class about Lord Jagannath. So tomorrow we have a Rath Yatra festival in Pune, so we might not meet tomorrow. And Monday and Tuesday I'm traveling, so I'll be back on mostly Wednesday. And then probably Wednesday onward we'll continue our discussion. So let's say Wednesday 10th gets over, Wednesday 11th gets over. Oh, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. So Wednesday will complete. Next session, if it happens on my Wednesday, which mostly would be on Wednesday now, we kind of complete the reading of NOI. And I am thinking the next book which we can start is Ishopanishad. So we'll take Ishopanishad. Then after that, we'll go to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. However, before we go to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, I would like to go verse by verse, not Prabhupada's, that summary. So we'll study a little bit more in depth. Morning time hai, padhenge dhyan se. So we'll read verses. I'll get the soft copy, and then we'll read Prabhupada's commentary. Like that. I will try to understand Necroduction, one of the most important books as Prabhupada said about it. So Hare Krishna. Kisi ka koi prashna, koi tippani, koi comments? Does the plan looks okay? We begin with Ishopanishad. So that way we have completed the 3 books, Bhagavad Gita, NOI, Ishopanishad, and then we go to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and we'll read a little bit more in details. All right. आप लोग का शांति मतलब शांत होने का मतलब मैं बेनिफिट ऑफ डाउट लेके समझ लेता हूँ, एग्री कर रहे हो? जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रील रूप गोस्वामी की जय। उपदेशा